Welcome back to Movie Recap. Today I'm gonna show you a 2018 Indonesian action thriller film called The Night Comes For Us. Spoilers ahead. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The movie begins with a text projecting the illegal organization called the Southeast Asian Triad, which controls 80% of Asia's smuggling activities and profits significantly from it, including distributing addictive medicines, firing weapons, and human exploitation. The organization carries out its activities through the Golden Triangle as its central hub. To keep their organization at guard and remain anonymous, Triad delegates elite groups to protect them, consisting of 6 men and women, known as the 6 Cs. After projecting the information about the Triad and the 6 Cs, the clip shows a girl named Reina sitting helplessly on the side of the seashore while looking at their village near the beach, slowly burning itself from fire with dead people scattered around the sand, covered with their blood. Reina then looks at her parents a few meters away from her, still alive, and crying for their hopelessness of being safe from firing weapons pointed behind their heads. Out of her fear for his daughter's life, Reina's mother shouts at her to run. After her throat-breaking shout, Reina's mother and others run in her direction. Before some of them step a few meters away from the armored men, loud weapons fires start to shoot each person. Reina sees how each of them takes their last breath, and the last lives that she sees from the villager are her parents almost a few centimeters away from her, extending their hands to reach her before the armored men take their lives away. At the back of the line, armed men comes to their leader named Ito. He takes a firing weapon from one of the armed men, and points it towards the remaining girl villager. Then, he fires it repeatedly, but it is not shown on the clip to whom he fires the weapon. The next scene shows a woman named Shinta sleeping on her bed, and waking up from a sound coming from her bathroom. As she goes inside the bathroom, Shinta sees bloodstains on the floor. The stains come from her bathtub that is covered by a long white curtain. As she slowly steps toward it, Shinta slowly raises her left hand, and rapidly swipes the curtain. She then sees Reina, who happens to be alive. Being confused about the little girl, Shinta sees Ito coming into the bathroom. Blood is dripping from his stomach, which he gets from a shot of a firing weapon. As he steps inside, all the remaining energy he gathers quickly vanishes, causing him to pass out on the floor. After Ito comes to consciousness, Shinta asks where Ito has been going after being gone for a long time. Shinta tells him that she thinks Ito is already dead. Being puzzled about dealing with Ito, Shinta calls her friend Fadi. As Faith arrives at Shinta's house, Ito and him have a conversation. Fadi asks Ito's decision of turning his back on the Triad. After telling Fadi that he would do the same if he was in his shoes, Ito requests Fadi to make Reina and him new identities. He also plans to get his money in Jakarta, and leave alone to keep others safe from the danger he carries after being a traitor from the Triad. Fadi shows a group picture of them with their friends during their conversation. He points to 2 men, and says that they are already dead. And Fadi points to another 2 men, and says they are sentenced to life imprisonment. The only people who remain in the group are Fadi, his cousin named Wisnu, who arrives from the entrance door, and the white man named Bobby, who also enters the door. The tension arises between Bobby and Ito because of their past issues. Bobby blames Ito for leaving them behind, yet Ito argues that he joins the Triad for the sake of their group's freedom. Aside from Fadi, Wisnu, Bobby, and Ito, the remaining man who is in the photo is Aryan. After meeting each other again, Fadi takes Ito and Reina to his hideout. The following clip transitions to Aryan sitting in a nightclub in Macau, wearing his black tuxedo. In the middle of the dancing lights and loud music, a mafia leader tortures one of the waitresses. Aryan appears, and it turns out that he is the manager of the nightclub. He learns that the mafia is pissed off from the incompetency of his waitress to serve him well. The mafia then requests Aryan to pour a drink for him. After giving him the glass of a luxurious drink, the mafia mocks Aryan in front of his men by describing him as a dirty foreigner. The mafia's mock lingers in Aryan's veins, making his blood boil. He sharply stares at the mafia who is now drinking in the glass. Using his hand, Aryan hits the glass onto the mafia's mouth, causing it to break, and sharply strikes his mouth, making a tremendous amount of blood to drip simultaneously. Aryan then attacks the mafia's men who carry sharp weapons. He easily kills each of them with no sweat, and then he goes back to the mafia, and finally takes its life by pushing the glass further onto his mouth. After the fight, Aryan receives a call from their leader named Chen Wu, who is now in the village where Reina's parents and others have died. Chen Wu reports about seeing his men who die in the village, except for Ito who disobeys the Triad, and is now considered a traitor. After Chen Wu reports about Ito, he orders Aryan to come back to Indonesia, and take down Ito in replace of giving him Triad leadership in Indonesia. To start his new life, Ito needs money. Therefore, he goes to Johan's butcher shop to get the money that Johan did not pay while he works with them. Johan is a businessman of addictive medicine, and is also a user of it. He hides his illegal business under the identity of his butcher shop. As soon as Ito arrives at the shop, he rings the bell until Johan shows up. When he recognizes Ito after wearing his glasses, Johan looks at the note on his table saying, "Ito's in Jakarta, report if seen." After reading the note, Johan acts naturally, pretending to offer Ito different pig's part that he might like while hideously pulling his firing weapon under his table. In his impatience, Ito grabs Johan's hair, and smacks him on a hard wooden block above his table, causing Johan's nasal bone to crack and bleed. He tries to point his weapon to Ito, but the other manages to take it away instantly, and forces Johan to get his money while pointing the firing weapon at him. While they are inside, Ito is surrounded by Johan's men. Each carries their sharp and thick weapon, ready to kill Ito. Each of them tries to attack him one by one, and Ito fights with his strength and skills all geared up. He twists their hand, cracks their bones, and stabs them by snapping their sharp weapon away. After killing all his men, Ito goes to Johan's office where he hides. Before he even fully opens the office door, Johan immediately tries to shoot him using his massive firing weapon, yet Ito successfully avoids this deadly shot. In this time, Johan calls to ask for backup, and report that Ito is in his shop. After a few minutes, Ito paralyzes Johan by taking his massive weapon from him, and shooting it on his foot. While pointing the firing weapon at Johan's head, Ito orders to give him the money that Johan hides inside their freezer. Ito forces Johan to reveal the identity of the person whom he called a while ago. Johan just laughs, and says that he orders his other men to go to Fadi's place, and take them down. Johan's response pisses Ito off, and fires the weapon he is holding, yet it is already out of load. After this, the cops who are paid by the Triad to catch Ito arrives. They point their firing weapon at Ito's back, but he successfully hides behind the table, causing them to reactively fire their weapons, and kill Johan instead. Once they get near Ito, he fights back, but he fails when he suddenly gets electrocuted, leading him to be unconscious. On the other hand, Fadi, Wisnu, and Bobby fight against Johan's men while protecting Reina. Each of them has different cuts on different parts of their bodies, yet they manage to kill each of the men in the room. Wisnu, who stays inside one of the rooms, hides Reina inside the cabinet. After waking up from being unconscious, Ito finds that he is lying inside the police car with 4 police officers who are having their conversation. Using his handicap, Ito strangles one policeman's neck. The remaining 3 policemen attack him using their firing and electric weapon, yet Ito manages to defend himself, and kill each police officer. After a tiring fight inside, the police car explodes from the firing weapon he uses to kill the last policeman, causing its window to crack, and lose its balance. In a food store, Chen-Wu is enjoying his noodles when he receives a report from Alma, a short black-haired woman, and also one of the 6 C's, that all Johan's men who attacked Fadi's place are dead. Therefore, Chen-Wu orders Alma to kill everyone who comes out of the place, including Johan's remaining men who are still alive. As they endure their cuts and stabs all over their body, Fadi, Wisnu, and Bobby get out of the room with Reina, looking fine and protected. Reina and Wisnu take the stairs on their way down, while Bobby and Fadi are about to take the elevator, but Johan's remaining men stop them from entering. Suddenly, the elevator door opens, and a white-haired woman named Elena, who is one of the 6 C's, together with her 3 men are inside the lift. Following Chen-Wu's order, they are there to kill them. In front of Fadi and Bobby, she kills each of Johan's men using her sharp weapon. Once she's done with the men, Bobby orders Fadi to leave, and follow Wisnu and Reina down the stairs. With all his determination, Bobby courageously fights Elena, yet he loses his life in the hands of the white-haired woman. In the stairs, Alma covers Wisnu and Reina. She kills Wisnu by strangling his neck using her thin string-like weapon that is as sharp as a blade. After leaving Bobby and going downstairs, this scenario shocks Fadi when he sees his cousin laying helplessly on the floor near Reina, and covers with blood. Alma is also about to kill Fadi when Aryan arrives, and beats her until she gets unconscious. On the other hand, after he beats the police, Ito escapes, and drives his way out using the car that he steals from one of the people on the road who stops because of their accident. In the basement, Reina, Fadi, and Wisnu walk on the parking lot. Fadi takes a firing weapon, faces Aryan, and pointed at him his weapon. Fadi lividly accuses Aryan of leaking to the Triad his hideout place. Even though Aryan wants to explain, Fadi cuts him off, and shoots his weapon. Faith and Reina get inside the car, and is about to leave when men from the Triad stop them. The shooting of fire weapons splashes at the basement. Fadi fights back, crashing each of them with his car, and firing back using his weapon until he decides to let Reina go, and make her hide under one of the cars. In his final moment, Fadi switches his radio on, lights up a stick, and drives towards the group of Triad troops. He stops his car a few meters away from them, and these men start to shoot him continuously. When the men walk towards his car, they see no traces of Reina. Before they can even take a step, a woman from the dark side of the parking lot called the operator shoots them one by one, looks inside the car, and then she leaves. After the incident, Ito arrives at Fadi's place. There, he sees the police officers gather at the basement. Ito looks shocked to see Fadi dead. He miserably stares at his friend's body, and loses all his strength. As he is about to come near their area, Reina holds his hand from behind to stop him from getting near the police area. With all his remaining strength, Ito carries Reina, and then, they leave. On the skyway where Ito parks the car that they used to leave, he calls Shinta and asks her to leave her apartment. Confused by his moves and the secret that Ito hides from her, Ito and Shinta argue over the phone before Shinta gives in, throws her cell phone in the trash can on the railway station, and rides the train. After learning that Shinta leaves, Ito takes Reina with him into her apartment. When Reina is asleep, the operator comes into their apartment, and gets into a fight with Ito. The operator shows her strength, and wins against Ito. After leaving Ito sitting on the bathroom floor, with blood pouring from his nose, the operator points a firing weapon at him. As she is about to kill Ito, Reina wakes up from sleeping, and pleads with the woman to not take Ito's life. Therefore, a woman does not kill Ito, and they go to the living room to sit down and talk. There, the operator asks Ito of his reason for betraying the Triad. Ito tells her that he has been in the Triad for 3 years, and got his position to be one of the 6 Cs. As a rule, even only a few people have sinned against the Triad. Every life is at stake. Ito is assigned to kill people in the village because other villagers sell Triad's property. They should leave no survivor, which Ito disobeys by saving Reina, and killing other Triad members because Ito regrets his mistakes. He sees Reina as a single light in his life who will give Ito a path to get away from his misdeeds. After listening to Ito, the operator leaves. After knowing that the woman is gone, Ito recalls his memory with his friends 3 years ago. He learned that their group was trapped into transactions between buying and selling addictive medicines, with the Triads because of Bobby. To save them, Ito decided to join the Triad, and then, Aryan also decided to follow him in joining the organization. The next day, the operator appears again in the apartment, and Ito learns that she is instructed to kill all 6 C's members by someone called Old Tiger. After a few minutes, Ito receives a call from Aryan who invites him to come into the hideout where they used to gather. This time, Ito decides to end it all with the Triads. After the call, he faces the operator, and Ito requests her to look after Reina in exchange for letting the operator complete her mission by allowing her to kill him. Ito arrives at the hideout without carrying any weapon. As he steps in, he attacks and kills Triad members one by one, until he finally faces Aryan. On the apartment, the Triad troops arrives to kill Reina and Ito. Without their knowledge, Ito already takes his way off to hideout. The operator, who guards Reina, kills the armored troops using all her explosive and firing weapons. After killing the men, the operator faces 2 members of the 6 Cs, Alma and Elena. With her unbelievable strength, the operator fights them furiously until she kills both of them. After the fight, Reina and the operator leaves the apartment. Going back to the hideout, the final battle happens between Ito and Aryan. Each shows their tremendous strength, pouring all out their determination to win against each other. In the end, both are heavily injured. Ito and Aryan are both soaking with their blood. Stabs and cuts are marked onto their body, shedding off their fleshes. Pushing all their energy, Ito win against Aryan, but he does not kill him. After Ito leaves, Chen Wu and his men appear. He mocks Aryan, who loses his fight over Ito, and then commands his men to shoot Aryan, leaving him lifeless inside the place. Gathering his remaining energy, Ito meets Reina on the road, where the operator drops her. After that, they go to the port, and he lets Reina take a ship, so she will stay alive, and get away from the Triad. The movie ends with Ito sitting inside his car while facing Chen Wu and his men, a few meters away. All of them are holding their firing weapon, ready to take away Ito's life. Ito starts his car, and steps on the gas as he screamingly drives towards them while facing all the deadly loads of the firing weapons. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this to help the channel out. Have a nice day.